It inspires me, to wake up every day, to be able to come and create something different, which is something that's really important to me. That's what I encourage even to other people into their fields. So you got to wake up and be inspired into what you do. And this is what I enjoy to do.
Young entrepreneur Andres Humet opened his shop when he was only 21 years old.
The name of my company is called South Day Choppers. I established it about 1.5 years ago. We are a manufacturer of custom motorcycles. We pretty much are a build-to-order company. Each bike you see in here right now is build-to-order. All the bikes here are sold. They're just kept in storage right now for clients. We manufacture everything in-house, all the way from gas tanks to fenders to handlebars. You name it, we do it. We customize it to what the customer asks for.
He went to Motorcycles Mechanic Institute, MMI, and became a certified technician for Harley-Davidson, where he worked for some time after his graduation. However, he soon realized that working for a large corporation offered little room for expansion. It was after this that Andres realized what he really wanted to do: own his own bike shop.
I started this business close to 2 years ago. I got a loan my father gave me. He knew that I wanted to start this business. He saw it being a dream of mine for the longest time. I pretty much started building bikes when I was about 17 years old in high school.
Though starting out was not easy, Andres received full support from his dad.
He always saw that I had the passion to do it on my own, because I wanted to create a name for myself, because I always wanted to do this forever, you could say. And one day he had came home and said, "Listen, I'm going to help you with your dream." And I looked at him and I said, "What do you mean?" And he had took out a loan against the house and pretty much handed me $150,000 and said, "Here's the money, and go start your dream."
As for most new businesses, starting out was not easy. However, Andres has worked hard to ensure that his business continues to rise.
Known Andres about 2.5 years. Doing what he does is very difficult, very hard. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. He's in the shop, almost every day, 24 hours a day, doing what he does. And they come out great because he's, all the trial and error, the times he's failed, eventually picks it up and they're coming out great. He asked me if I wanted to help out a while back, and I was very interested because all this stuff is very interesting. It's hard, but it's challenging, and that's what I like. I think in the future, if it does pick up, then I'll be first in line.
The main process of building these bikes is pretty much, it starts at where you meet with the client for the first time. Hands down, that's where it starts. You sit down with them and you grasp what it is that they're looking for in a design, and then you take what they're looking for and you create it. And then the stage after that is you sit down and go over the components that they want. It ranges from options of 10 different engines to transmissions to different types of shapes of gas tanks, front ends. Anything you can think of. It's like sky's the limit when it comes to these things. It's like what I call them. They're giant Legos without instructions, pretty much. Once all the parts are ordered, they get delivered here to me on a truck, and then I pretty much start the stage 1 process of the building. You take the frame, you put the frame pieces together, whether it's a soft tail or what's called a rigid, meaning it has no suspension in the back of the bike. Then you start putting on the wheels, the front end, handlebars, oil tank, and etc. from there. Once you have that, that's where you start lining up everything. Because that's what makes also my products different, is when you sit on these bikes, even though they weigh excess of 500 to 800 pounds, the balance of these bikes are on point. Some of the other design features on this bike was the exhaust system. The exhaust system is called the 2-into-1 hot rod style. It's typically an exhaust you would see on kind of like a rat rod style muscle car. They come out the exhaust ports and kind of shoot into one canister out there. Also, the oil lines are steel braided for longevity of the riding of the motorcycle. Everything here is performance upgraded. My seats are made out of all leather material, and then they're inserted with a surgical gel. So it makes them just as soft as like your standard motorcycle, like a Harley or something like that, if not even better.
so you could go for hundreds of miles with no problem. And then also another thing that makes these bikes really unique is the cleanness of these bikes.
Then you have what I call the final stage of manufacturing, which is the final assembly. I have a bike that I'm actually in that process right now of doing, and it's coming out really well. That's where, to me, you test your skill in the mock-up stage, where if you do everything how you're supposed to in the beginning, everything will pretty much fall into place as you were building it before, as you were mocking it up. It actually should be even easier because you had already tested everything. Once all that is completed, then I do engine testing inside the facilities to make sure everything is performing correctly, the electrical systems and all that are correct. And then I'll do road testing, probably about for a solid 2 weeks, depending on my time frame with the client. Well, I really hope to see this as a successful business that, you know, takes off probably beyond my dreams. You know, I only hope that it gets to that point. You know, this is something that I've really worked hard for, and I'm in a really small warehouse right now, which I'm not complaining. I'm really blessed to even have this, but I can only hope that it turns into something where I can see my products going down the road, and I can be like, well, I created a monster type of thing. You know, I created such an industry where it's grown. You know, because part of the difficult things with these bikes is just that they, you know, beside the price of them, it's difficult finding somebody out there that builds such quality machines anymore. And you know, if I can grasp that, you know, that's something that would mean the world to me. 10, 15 years from now, I mean, I don't know. I really hope to see this turn into just such an industry that I can just, you know, see it more. You know, I would like to have this more as a performance shop than anything. That's always been my dream.